Okay, I'd like to call the Human Resources and Public Works Committee meeting to order. I'm Commissioner James Marino, reporting in from my home in Mount Pleasant, Isabella County.
Commissioner Terry Hutchison, reporting from my home in Nottawa Township, Isabella County.
Commissioner Jim Horton, reporting from my office in Big Rapids, Michigan, Mecosta County.
Okay, at this time, I'm going to call to the public. Do we have any public, Nicole?
We do not at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Then I'll proceed to our first item, which is consider approving the Medicare Improvement for Patients and Provider Act, MIPA, Beneficiary Outreach and Assistant Purchase of Service Agreement between Michigan Medicare Medicaid Assistance Program, MAP, and Isabella County Commission on Aging, and authorize the board chair to sign the same. Jen Crawford, Director of Commission on Aging, could you take it from here, please?
Absolutely. Good morning. So we're throwing a whole bunch of acronyms at you this morning with this one staff report, so I apologize for that. But this program is a great program that allows our social workers, who are all three of our social workers and also our in-home services program manager, are all MAP counselors. So they're all trained to be counselors for the program, but it allows them to assist older adults in our community complete the applications, these different income-based applications for Medicare that helps them with the costs of the Medicare Part D program. So there's two different types. One is processed through Social Security Office. The other one is processed through DHHS. And so our counselors, they know the ins and outs of the program and are able to work through it with our clients and help them throughout the program and help them with the application. So with this, we would be eligible for reimbursement for $150 for every low income subsidy application, and also $200 for every Medicare Savings Program application that's completed, which they upped those amounts by $50 each this year since last year. And then also this year, they threw in a new, we're able to now get reimbursement for $200 for every Medicare preventative wellness benefits presentation, which Jen Martin, our in-home services manager, does put those on occasionally throughout the year at Commission on Aging. So that'll be great. She does provide wonderful educational seminars for individuals in group settings. And then also she does one-on-one with folks after they sit through the presentation and would like more information, she can help them with that. So it's a great program. Last year, our numbers have been down the last 2 years due to COVID for sure. Last year, we still had completed 10 applications and received $1,200 in reimbursements for those. And so after talking with Jen, we definitely think, the numbers are going to go back up again, starting with this fiscal year 22.
I know this is such a great service for our senior constituents. So helpful to get through the red tape, and such a money-saving, great assistance to them with all their expensive kind of options that they face. So I really, anybody have any comments or questions on this?
No,
Go ahead.
again, go ahead.
Jen, how does someone, let's say for instance, a couple resides in a nursing home, how would they go about seeking this out? Is there any hope? Is there anything they can do? Who do they contact at the Commission on Aging? Or
absolutely, if they just call our main line, the Commission on Aging, and ask for any of our social workers, they're all trained counselors in this program, and so there's no wrong door as far as if they call and just ask for help. We have an insurance hotline, so a lot of times they'll go right to that point, and our counselors, they check it every single day and get right back with people. Especially right now is a very busy time. They're getting everyone trained. Medicare Part D starts next week, so they're ramping up for all of those meetings. But just have them call our office, and they will get right back with them and get them all set up with an appointment.
Great, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah, did you have something?
Well, that was my question. How do you sign up?
Yeah, just call. And actually for the regular Medicare D sign up right now, we are taking those appointments now. That starts October 15th. through December 7th. And so that becomes a really busy time for them. They typically meet with about 600 clients a year.
Wow.
And so it becomes very, very, very busy, but they do just an amazing job and help save so many of our guests so much money in the program, and really help them to figure out, it's such a confusing process to begin with, and then they can help them through it and really help them figure out what is the best option for them. I encourage everybody, if you even have questions, even if you are signed up for something and you just want to make sure you have the right thing, send them over and have them just sit down with one of our staff and have them go through it with them.
Okay,
Okay, could I get a motion on this, please?
sure can. Motion to consider approving the Medicare Improvement for Patients and Providers Act, MIPPA Beneficiary Outreach and Assistance Purchase and Services Agreement between Michigan Medicare Medicaid Assistance Program, MMAP, and the Isabella County Commission on Aging, and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move item 4 to the work and regular session of the county commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. The ayes carry. The item will be forwarded to next week's regular and work sessions. Okay, thank you so much, Jen. Our next item is consider approving the following changes to county park fees. Increase resident camping rates at Coldwater and Herrick Parks from 20 per night to 25 per night. Increase resident cabin rates at Coldwater and Herrick Parks from $40 per night to $45 per night. Have annual watercraft fees for all guests be $10. Change memorial benches from 250 to 500. Is that beaches or
It should be
benches?
benches.
Benches.
Okay, benches, okay.
M-
From $250 to $500. Offer a free daily pass to disabled veterans showing disabled veteran ID card, and offer free entry to all veterans on Memorial Day, July 4th, Labor Day, and Veterans Day, all effective October 19th, 2021 for the 2022 season. Okay, Sue Ann, what do we have here?
Well, each year, the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board reviews our fees and charges, and we really haven't had any big changes over the past few years. But in reviewing the fees and charges now, along with our new online reservation system and how busy we've been at the park, a few things we talked about and they reviewed and decided on how we would move forward. I did provide them a recommendation for all of these items, just so you know, but a lot of it is based on the management and operational side of the parks. We have 7 items, 6 are noted here, but number 1 is merged together with our, due to our reservation system that we have. It is very difficult to have resident and non-resident fees. It seems more common that people that do have the online, and I guess maybe if they have a more sophisticated system, but we have just found that putting the fees and charges, the camping fees with 2 different fees for residents and non-residents has proven to be very, very challenging. Unfortunately, we have sometimes people just give an in-county rate, and then when they come to the gate, that doesn't, we do check their IDs to make sure that they're tax supported, that they're a resident of Isabella County. And so it puts our staff in somewhat of a predicament. A lot of the, also just having people come in, and it just becomes a line out the door. And so we're really not trying to raise our fees too much. Average now for camping in our county, particularly is $40 to $50, over $50 right now. So we are definitely lower in the market. I mean, be it that we are a government entity, we can, still have a lower night rate. So the recommendation is just trying not to change it too much, but to have our $20 a night for the in-county folks just be raised to $25, which is the current rate for all other people that come to the park. And that would help out a lot for, as I explained, for the operation type situation. And it's also recommended to do that with the cabins as well. Cabins are $40 at this time for residents and $45 for all other folks. And just to make that fee $45 would be of great help. I will say, gotten some feedback from our campers. I mean, no one likes to see a fee increase at all, but it's such a basic fee or minor fee increase that I hope the board will look favorably on the recommendation. On our rustic camping at Deerfield, we don't get many people that want to camp rustically, hiking a mile back into Deerfield and stay there for a month. But we have had, since I've been here, 2 to 3 people that have done that. They've been charged this $400, but in looking back when I was putting this together, I could not find anything that confirmed the $400. So this is more of a housekeeping thing to have, it's been $400 charged. We just have it so few people that I'd like to confirm this amount officially, even though it's not used very often. And item number 3, and this was the item that I needed to change. I do apologize for having administration send out my staff report, but I realized I had not edited this accordingly to what the board, the Parks Board we had discussed and talked about at our last meeting. We talked about the annual Watercraft Fee. So this is $10 right now for residents and $15 for non-residents. And to have this be $10 for all guests. We were going to try to do something with Herrick and allowing multiple boats, but there's not a way we can do that right now. Herrick has a smaller water area. So we're just going to, I think it would be best, again, managing this is to keep it to 1 boat. But if somebody wants to do annual Watercraft Fee, it would just be a one fee at $10. So it'll also help with the efficient check-in process, as I've noted here, and improving the service staff and the visitors to the park. Our gate attendants are the front people of the park, obviously, when people check in, and it's really eye-opening to what they deal with at the gate. So this is really trying to provide better customer service and allow them to perform their job more efficiently, just for the one fee and record of that. Number 4 is, and it's really on the list, is the Memorial Bench Program. We started this program like in 2001, and we built the benches in-house, so they were very inexpensive for us versus buying new benches. We have used up all of those benches over the years, and just with the improvements to benches, we're actually really like the benches that have recycled material or the resin, and they're less likely, they'll last longer, and we're just not building benches anymore. That was, we had a few people that had a talent of building the benches, and we weren't quite as busy, and due to that, we have gone with this type of bench. It's about $500 a bench. So that would just, we'd like to, it's a little bit over 500, but we don't sell that many memorial benches, but I'd like to try to keep the cost down. I know our neighbors at Mount Pleasant, they have a program, and I believe theirs are like $700 or $800. So we just don't have that many people, and I'd like to keep it, we need to put more benches in the park. So the $500 would be seems to be a fair price. Not insinuating Mount Pleasant is not a fair price, but we have had some discussion, and I believe the board has well, about disabled veterans, asking if they would be able to get a discount or free entry at the gate. And that is something that the Parks Board did review and approve for disabled veterans. All they need to do is show their ID card, which I'm understanding they have via Ian, and they would get then just free entry at the park. The state does that as well. And then the last is on our holidays that we have, in discussion with some input from folks, just on the Memorial Day, July 4th, Labor Day, and Veterans Day. Possibly, if we would like to, or the board would like to recommend proposing a free entry to all veterans on those holidays. That would be a nice gesture.
Okay,
So with that,
go ahead.
Okay, well, I was just going to say, and the change in the financial impact, there will be some financial impacts on these, especially for some of the increases, the 2 increases for the camping and the cabins. However, as you recall, for our online reservation system, for every reservation we do as well, is $5 a reservation, which helps offset the cost for our online reservation system, as well as provide additional revenue. So our impact on this is very minimal, because we have a new system, new way of taking reservations, and we are busier than we ever have been before. So really financially, we are still ahead of the game on these items. Okay.
Thanks. Sue-Ann, on the benches, so that 500, that means there's going to be a plaque or something with somebody's name on it? Is that the way that works?
Yes, in the chart that I have below the items, it does say, I believe it does say that it includes a plaque, and sometimes we have to, from vandalism, a little bit of vandalism or too much sun on the plaque, we replace them. But again, down the line, we probably would have to establish maybe a little bit more to the memorial program, but it's nice that it's pretty laid back, but it's definitely achieving the goal of people who like that park in particular, or an area in the park, they can provide something for their loved one or, good friend. I know disc golf just got a bench out at the disc golf course, so it's really does a trick. But yes, we route the bench so that we can put in the plaque is on the back side of the bench, but it's flush, it doesn't stick out.
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody else have any questions or comments on this item? Go
Chairman
ahead,
Moreno.
Jim.
Just real quick, I did notice 2009 since the last changes. So I guess after 12 years and going through the COVID and everything like that, I think it's, I don't think it's unreasonable to increase rates like, I mean, it's been 12 years. So on a couple things, memorial benches, I'm assuming that the same people have had the same bench, or how often does that swap out?
Well, right now, it's interesting. That is on the on my list to, in the next review, talk about, the length of the benches, but be it that we just don't have that many. We've really not even had to replace any benches due to damage, except for one little piece of a bracket on one of the benches been replaced. So that is something that the Parks Board will review in the future. I just feel like it's such a laid back program, and we don't, we do advertise it, but for whatever reason, we don't have any ending date for doing it. However, we have had the one bench that did provide needed some repair. The individual did offer to, repair it, but we had already repaired it, was done. So we will set up I've talked to the city of Mount Pleasant and also have their policy, to what they do. I think their benches go 15 years, so it's not in perpetuity. But right now, we just haven't had big issues on our bench. They've held up, and the only thing we've ever had to replace, except for that one slat of wood, has been the plaques.
That's what I was going to ask. That was my question was, the plaques, like, let's say, for instance, not that I have it, wanted to get one for my father or mother. So that would say the James H. Horton and Marjorie E. Horton Memorial. There's a plaque with someone's name on it. Is that correct?
Yep, and Commissioner, you could, you have the opportunity for the 3 lines you have to say whatever you'd like on that plaque. We send out like a little template to you, and you and your family can figure that, what.
How often does that rotate through? I mean, if it's a yearly charge, does the same people continually do it, or is that?
Well, it's not a yearly charge. They pay it once when the bench is out there. You mean for the 200, like right now it's $250?
Right.
They pay $250. Now, sometimes the bench might already be out there, so they're paying $250. So that bench is dedicated to their loved one.
Okay.
So it doesn't
And that's
matter.
not a yearly fee. That's a one-time.
No, it's
fee?
not. No, it's just, no.
Okay. All right. That's okay. I was gonna think, okay. My other question, and again, I'm just throwing this out. I don't even know if this is a good idea, bad idea, or just an idea. It says offer a free daily pass to disabled veterans. Is there an alternative for the disabled veteran to get a yearly pass? So they don't have to show their ID every time, or was that discussed?
We did not discuss that. We just thought the free entry would be, that was what I had presented.
Okay, either way, I mean, it's a good thing. I know someone that I know had brought that up to myself, and I believe he brought it up to several different people, including, I don't know if he talked to you, Commissioner Moreno, being a veteran, but I believe he talked to Commissioner Jelazinski, and I know he talked to myself. So I'm good. I'm glad we're recognizing the disabled veterans. I know they do get some tax incentives too with the property taxes and everything, but this is good. This is, like you said, it shows $600 estimated cost, but same time, that's not a cost as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, that's all I have, Commissioner Moreno. Thank you.
Commissioner Hutchinson.
Yeah, I was out to the meeting with Sue Ann, and it is amazing that in today's COVID world, the numbers are up and people are using our parks, which is a wonderful thing. But the amount of money coming in is, and like Jim said, with this being, goes all the way back to 2009 since we did any increase. This isn't a huge increase, and it's kind of cleans things up too. So thank you.
Okay, if there's no further questions or comments, we could use a motion, please.
Yep. Consider approving the following changes to the county parks and county parks fees, increasing residents camping rates at Coldwater and Herrick Park from $20 to $25 per night, increasing residents cabin rates at Coldwater and Herrick Parks from $40 to $45 per night, change Herrick Parks boat fees from $3 daily fees for 4 watercraft per non-commercial vehicle to $10 fee for residential 4 watercraft per non-commercial vehicles. Change memorial benches from $250 to $500. Offer a free daily pass to disabled veterans showing DV-ID card, and offer a free entry to all veterans on Memorial Day, July 4th, Labor Day, and Veterans Day, all effective October 19th, 2021 for the 2022 season.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move item 5 to the work and regular session of the County Commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. The ayes carry. Item 5 will be forward to the next week's meetings. Thank you, Sue Ann.
Yep, thank you very much.
Thank you, Sue Ann.
Okay, our next item is consider accepting and placing on file the Isabella County Drain Commissioners 2021 Annual Report as presented. sir, in the drain office, could you introduce yourself to the new commissioner?
Hi, this is Bob Willoughby, and I'm in my office at 200 North Main.
Okay.
Your report is, I mean, it is what it is. It's getting bigger and bigger every year for some reason, but it's, I believe it's all here. Do we have any questions?
You have a lot of activity going on, right?
Yes, yes. There's a lot of these I can explain if you have any questions on them. There's a ton of them from Spicer Group because they worked with us with the wind energy deal, all that, and the straightening up the drainage district for the North Branch and all the tribs. Yeah, there's, let's say, a lot of maintenance. Samber Engineering is still working on a project from 3 or 4 years ago that's been in the making. He's finishing up. It's his last project for us. Star Excavating has a ton of them. Fahey and Schultz is our legal counsel that works with Spicer and everybody that, you know, we deal with.
And those law people, they have to be real specialized in drain law, right?
Yes. Fahey Schultz specializes in all drain legal matters. LRE, Land Resource Engineering, they are the ones that we're working with on our Mission Creek project that's going on right now. Pickard Road is open, by the way.
Okay, does anybody have, go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
sure. Thank you, Chairman Moreno. Just a couple questions, Mr. Willoughby. First of all, Commissioner Willoughby, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, you never notice a drain till it's not working, it seems like. I mean, that's just,
Right.
I just, you know, you think back a few years ago when we had our floods and we noticed that. And then of course, or when I should rephrase that statement. You never notice a drain till it's not working or you're trying to do something to it. Otherwise, everybody, you know, I never had an appreciation or even noticed drains until I got on the county commission because you just don't think of something like that, but you have a flood or you have a heavy rain and then that water's got to go somewhere. And it's just amazing all the little, you know, all the pathways and the planning, how those things work. It's just, you know, it's like no one really knows, but it's there. So, and
they seem to be getting tested a lot more than they used to. That little rain we had last week there was 2 inches in 20 minutes. It, you know, put water in over the road, but it all left right away. So apparently everything's working.
Yeah. No, I like I said, thank you for the report and thank you for being here and offering to explain it to the commissioners. I'm sure you'll have more for when our other meeting. I know Commissioner Engler, he's quite big on the drains.
Yep.
So he'll probably throw you some. So do you plan on attending our business session then to present this or will you be available? Margaret, what's our plan for him?
Yes.
I'm assuming that Bob will be at the work session at 4 o'clock on Tuesday.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm sure Commissioner Engler and probably Commissioner Jelazinski will also have some questions. And I know Commissioner Hutchinson, his district is quite affected by that. And my district now with the Mission Creek and everything going in, it's being more and more affected. So yeah, that's I noticed that, like you said, Pickard Road, that's good. You said that is reopened now?
They were paving it yesterday afternoon. I assume it's open today.
Okay, all right.
Carolyn came through there this morning, so
Okay, all right.
it's open.
All right, perfect. Okay. That's all I got, Chairman Moreno. Thank you.
Okay, could we have a motion on this, please?
Sure. Consider accepting and placing on file the Isabella County Drain Commission 2021 Annual Report as presented.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move this item to the work and regular session of the county commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. The ayes carry. The item will be forwarded to the work and regular session of the county commission next week. Okay. Mr. Drain Commissioner Okay, we have, the next item involves you to consider adopting the 2021 drain tax apportionment for Isabella County tax billing. Can you comment on this, please?
I guess it is, I don't have anything more to say about it. It's what we've turned in. What do we have here? It's just your report. It's the county's apportionment for all these drains. They are the county and each township pays on these drains also. And that's what that is, that report.
And so that totals $1,566,006. $1,566,627. Hold it. $1,586,627.12, right?
It's less than that.
That's the bottom line.
Yep,
We have
that's
the
the
north
bottom
drains.
line from all the drains.
Okay. Any questions on this item?
Yeah, Chairman Moreno, real quick, Mr. Commissioner Willoughby, just so I'm under the understanding, that is like you had mentioned, the at-large is like, for instance, the county pays for all the drains, anything that the county has property on. Is it county property? Is that how that's determined, or how is that determined?
The county at large assessment is $360,772.85. And then the townships total for all 16 townships is $151,746.77.
And that's the county property that borders the drains or is involved in the drains?
That
Is
will
how
be,
that's-
well, what is, road drainage use, and that's just, yeah, and that's why it gets both the township and the county itself. It's road use, development, land, has a lot to do with, the land values.
You have a number for property owners and their assessments, what the total amount is for not the county and the townships, but what the property owners' assessments are? Do you have that number? Do you know, is there a number out there like that?
The
It's
property,
the special,
the
970.
$970,436.75.
That's SP drain. What's that? What's SP?
That's the taxpayers.
Oh, SP. What is SP? What does SP stand for?
That's special.
Okay, special. Okay.
Special drain tax,
Yeah,
special
thank you.
drain tax.
I was looking,
Yes.
okay, so in other words, that 970,000, that represents what the taxpayers are paying on for special assessments and everything? Okay, thank you. I was wondering if there was a number out there. Thank you very much for explaining that. That's all, Chairman Moreno.
Okay. Could we have a motion on this one, please?
Sure. Consider adopting the 2021 drain tax apportionment for Isabella County tax billing.
Support. It's been moved and supported to move item 7 to the work and regular session of the county commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. The ayes carry. Item 7 will be forwarded to next week's meeting. Okay, our next item is consider approving the delinquent water billing roll as submitted by the Board of Public Works, which constitutes delinquent service charges of 6 months or more as of September 1st, 2021 for properties within Lake Isabella, Forest Number 2 subdivision, Village of Lake Isabella, Township of Sherman, County of Isabella, State of Michigan, and therefore constitutes a lien on the property as provided by the County of Isabella Ordinance Number 1 of 1975 as amended. Mr. Drainfish.
You all have a copy of this, of the report?
I don't. I didn't get,
You don't?
I just have page 1 of, I just have the cover sheet. I don't have I just have the staff report. I don't have the, does the other
Oh.
commissioners have that, or is that getting
Yeah,
included later?
yeah, we
Yeah,
got it.
covered.
We got it.
Okay, then, was it included later?
Yes.
Okay, I thought, maybe I did see something come. Go ahead and start and I'll catch up.
A lot of these were delinquent before the COVID, thing where of course, they didn't have to pay, so they didn't. It's getting to be it's $11,841.76 in delinquent water bills. You know, that's pretty, 10% of our net, at least 10. So, they've all been turned in. I mean, a lot of these are going to go on the delinquent tax roll. So, and, you know, we'll get our money there, but if they come up for sale, we're going to have to, you know, straighten it back out with Pickens' office. So it is what it is. We're just going to keep billing, and we've sent everybody a delinquent tax bill. Everybody on this list got a bill stating they have to get it caught back up. So we've done what we can do.
So would you say this is a one-time thing?
I hope so. This is what is accumulated through COVID.
Got it. Go ahead, Terry.
So this just is allowing you to put a lien on their property.
Yep, it goes on their property taxes.
Margaret? Go ahead, Margaret.
Just to let commissioners, thank you, sir. Just to let commissioners know, the drain commissioner does present a list of delinquent water billings every year to the board since I've been there. It is larger this year, I believe, and Bob said that, so I'm sure that that's accurate. But you know, this is it's an ongoing issue. The bills get sent out, people don't pay them, they become delinquent. You know, I've talked with Bob about his team trying to, you know, kind of brainstorm on collection options and how to encourage that. And I know that they contact these folks, and you know, I'm sure they send letters or make phone calls or whatever. Sooner or later, if they refuse to pay, it just has to go on delinquent rolls. That's just what has to happen. But it is. I have a question real quick, Bob, just a clarification. Is it more people this time? More residents or places? All of these aren't residents. Some of these are empty lots, but they have water there. Or is it bigger financially, or is it both?
Well, if you can see that most of them are $100, $200.
Right.
The larger ones, I got a 700 and 1,000 here on the first page, are ones that were delinquent before, you know, we were about to, you know, give them a shut off notice before COVID. So then, and now it's, you know, we got another year on it.
Okay, but in total, when you look at the 11,841, is that a market major increase from previous years, do you think, or is it just kind of common? And it's okay if you don't know.
Yeah, last year was 4,500 according to Tim.
Oh, well,
So
yeah,
it's
that's a very large increase.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I know it's ongoing. I just thought that the COVID factor was a contributing to this increase. I know that we always get these, but.
Yes, it's a large increase, absolutely.
Chairman Moreno, if I have
Go ahead.
a question of the drain commissioner. Those fees, is there like a base fee attached to everything? And then there's a usage fee also, or is that, and then
every vacant lot has a ready to use fee of, what is it, $10, $20, $69.40 something. Yeah, yearly, right? Or quarterly. It's 69 feet quarterly. And the problem is there's 200 and some odd lots out there, but there's only 109 customers, I believe. And those people they don't catch that 69 up until they have, you know, until it goes on taxes, or until they typically all stay behind on the bill. Some of them keep it up for a while, but a lot of it is just that ready to use fee that they, you know, that we're not gonna hurt them by shutting their water off because it's not turned on.
Okay.
Okay, if there's no more questions, we need a motion on
I'll
this.
make a motion to consider approving the delinquent water bill roll and submit by the Board of Public Works, which constitute delinquent service charges of 6 months or more as September 1st, 2021 for properties within the Lake Isabella Forest Number 2 subdivision, Village of Lake Isabella, Township of Sherman, County of Isabella, State of Michigan, and therefore constitutes a lien on the property as provided by the County of Isabella Ordinance Number 1 of 1975 as amended.
Support. It's been moved and supported to place item 8 on the work and regular session of the county commission meeting next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed, the same. The ayes carry. The item will be forwarded to the work and regular session of the county commission. Thank you, Mr. Drain Commissioner, for your work.
Yep, thank you.
Mr. Willoughby, Commissioner Willoughby. Okay, next and finally, I believe, item 9, consider approving the Great Lakes Bay Michigan Works interlocal agreement between County of Bay, the County of Gratiot, the County of Midland, the County of Saginaw, and the County of Isabella, effective January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2026, and authorize the board chair to sign the same. Margaret, do you have some background on this for us?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I'm happy to have that discussion. So I think it was in late 2016 or early 2017, at the time, the governor's office at the time was looking at some regional cooperative agreements in different organizations, different parts of government. And one of them was the Department of, that worked with the Department of Labor, which we would call Department of Labor. They've changed the name of their department, but on workforce development areas. So Isabella County was in a workforce development area with Gratiot County, and then to the south some. But when this whole discussion about kind of reorganizing the districts came up, a county that will remain nameless in the southern part of the state got into quite a tussle with the state about doing this. And because of that, it kind of blew up the group we were in. And our group went all the way down to Ionia. So that kind of got blown up. And then we got placed along with Gratiot County with Midland, Bay, and Saginaw counties. And so that is now our workforce development area. And at the time, all of those 5 counties entered into an interlocal governmental agreement that started in January of 2017 of the 5 counties. So we entered into an area, into a district that those 3 counties had been the workforce development area for 40 years. And so we were kind of the new kids on the block, and we came in. At the time, the interlocal governmental agreement, which you have in front of you, the old one on the back and the new one on the front. At the time, that was the interlocal governmental agreement that all 5 counties agreed to. Just for reference, I have a pretty extensive background in workforce development. I worked in workforce development for 20 years as a department head, managing it for a county, running it, doing the services, making sure people got trained, people got jobs, et cetera, following the federal and state laws. And then I left that county and went to work for a post-secondary educational organization. And while I was there, I think part of why they hired me was that we opened up a huge workforce development department. So I do have some background in that and extensive information in it. So when we started in this group, it was get to know each other, build relationships. And I think that we've done a nice job with that. And I think that we have integrated fairly well with Saginaw Bay and Midland. The agreement that we signed originally has the same representation from the counties as what we're bringing forward today. What I'm bringing forward today is the exact same agreement, except changing the dates. How we got to that has been a year-long struggle of all sorts of things. And Commissioner Horton and myself serve and represent Isabella County on what's called the Consortium Board. So there's two different boards in workforce development. One is the representatives of what's considered the chief elected officials, which in counties is the Board of Commissioners. So the chief elected official is the chairperson. And then there's another group of citizens that represent specific areas like education, labor, disabled folks, all sorts of specialties, public sector or private sector employers. So there are two separate boards that need to work together in some fashion on a lot of things. But the consortium board, when you're reading through this, is the elected officials and the chief administrative officers board. So Chairman Horton serves on that and I serve on that. And there was an effort to dilute, in my opinion, the powers and responsibilities of that part of the board, the consortium. Because right now, the consortium is the board is the one who picks the administrative unit, and that's the fiscal agent. And this previous agreement and the current agreement now read the same way, which is that the consortium board, which is the board of the county officials, will select the administrative unit. Well, what does that mean? That means who is going to manage the millions and millions of dollars that come into that 5-county area for workforce development programs. And it's really important, I think, that the public end of the partnership, which is the consortium board, has the authority to do those things, because that public sector part, the 5 counties, we have the liability. So if something were to go wrong and we got through audits and investigations and all sorts of stuff, and the Federal Department of Labor said, well, I'm sorry, Saginaw Bay, Midland, Gratiot, and Isabella, that $2 million you spent on, I'll make it up, that building or whatever, we're going to disallow that. And when that disallowed cost happens by the federal government, it has to be paid back. And in this agreement now, it has the same criteria of how that would be paid back. You know, first of all, we would oppose doing that for a long time before we agreed to pay a penny back. We would appeal. Second of all, you know, we might try to collect it from whoever made that decision. Third of all, maybe something happened that was nefarious and the person who owns the building is the brother of the person who, so I mean, you know, all those things happen. So you try to go down the line to get whatever you can. And then in the end, you try to negotiate some type of a settlement. Because if the federal government, after all those years, and I've done this before for another county, so it took years, but if eventually they said, nope, you got to be disallowed, then that money has to be paid back from the county's general fund. From the county's general fund. So it is certainly in the county's interest to be the people who decide who is the fiscal agent, who is the administrative agent, and who is the executive director. Those 3 things are very important. And after all these months, now they have remained in the agreement. And finally, last week, I think it was the week before, maybe Commissioner Horton, we had a consortium board meeting, and what was considered to be the final draft of the agreement was before the consortium board. However, there had been a phrase inserted that the consortium board and the workforce development board would have the authority to pick a fiscal agent, et cetera, et cetera. No, counties have the liability. We need to have the authority. So what you have in front of you is remaining that authority with the counties. And it also requires that the county's fiscal agent must be one of the counties. The administrative unit must be one of the counties. Saginaw County had that operation for over 50 years. They have been the administrative agent. The employees of the workforce development organization are Saginaw County employees. So over 50 years, I can't even estimate how many hundreds of millions of dollars have come into this consortium. Not once in 50 years has there been a disallowed cost. And that speaks volumes of who the fiscal agent and the administrative agent is, which is Saginaw County. So I've been 100% supportive of let's leave things as they are. There was a movement to go in a whole different other directions, which I won't go into, but that's not going to happen. So we are down back to this document, which I think is it's the same document we already have. We've changed the dates. So it would be effective now January 1st of 2022 through December 31st of 2026. We need to approve this because the current one is expiring at the end of the year, and the state is requiring the counties to try to get this approved before the end of October. So really, it's status quo, and it took a lot to get to status quo. And Commissioner Horton can add to that, or Chairman Horton, but it took a lot of effort to get to status quo and a lot of working with our colleagues, both elected officials and one of the county CEOs to get to this point. So I'm very relieved, very relieved that we stood our ground and we got to where we are. So with that, I would highly recommend that we approve this at the Board of Commissioners meeting next week. And I'm happy to take any questions, but I think Commissioner Horton, who has been involved since January, might have a few comments too, maybe not.
Chairman Moreno?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll echo what Margaret said, and Margaret underplayed her role significantly in her statement there. She had a significant voice on that board, and that her voice will be missed. I can assure you of that. Now this is my first year on that board. I took over former chairperson Green was the board representative to that board in the past, and this is my first year, so I had some hit the ground running learning curves, and you try to do that online without going to any meetings. It was kind of different. Quite a large booklet of materials. Long story short, I deferred a lot to Margaret. Margaret was a great help to me. She still is in this board. I don't like some of the, I always don't like to see boards have issues that like basically infighting almost. And I won't call it fighting, but they had some, it was professionally hectic, we'll put it that way. I guess that's the term I could use, professionally hectic. But in the end, I think the right decision was made to continue on. As Margaret said, and as we talk, I see the drain commissioner still on the screen there, so it brings back that same statement. You don't notice something till something goes wrong sometimes, and I think, as Margaret mentioned, there could be some liability to the county if something did go wrong. So I think this keeps everything status quo going forward. And obviously with the COVID era, this has obviously affected Michigan Works quite significantly too. So again, I don't see any reason why this board would not approve this. So that's all I have. Thank you, Chairman Moreno.
Okay. Yeah, I remember when this came about, it was from above, and then everybody had to scramble to make things right again. And there was a lot of resentment and all that, I'm sure. That was from what I remember. Okay. If there's no more questions or anything, we need a motion at this time, please.
Sure. Consider approving the Great Lakes Bay Michigan Works interlocking agreement between the County of Bay and the County of Gratiot, the County of Midland, the County of Saginaw, and the County of Isabella, effective January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2026, and authorize the board chair to sign the same.
Support. It's been moved and supported to forward the item to the regular and work session of the county commission next week. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. The ayes carry. The item will be forwarded to the work and regular session of the county commission next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank both of you for your work that you've put into this.
Oh.
Both Margaret and Jim.
Jim didn't do much. Margaret 99%.
All right.
So
Okay, we'll call to the public. Any public?
Chairman Moreno, we had a good meeting today, quite a lot on the agenda. So it was very well run, and we don't have a meeting. There's not a 10 or 9 o'clock meeting for the next committee, so Margaret and I get a little reprieve for 51 minutes or so. So that's good. And good seeing you guys. And that's all I have to add. So.
Okay, I'd like to adjourn the meeting of the Public Works and Human Resources Committee. Hope you all have a good week.
You
Bye-bye.
too.
Thank
Take
you.
care.